Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever the case may be out there. This is the 1122 Wingnut Radio. I'm out here for Anarchy TV. And I had a little interesting talk with one of the guys I work with. You know, because I was reading a story today. I can't remember where it was, where this thing happened or whatever. I can't remember the city or whatever. But according to this story, there was a man in that area that, according to the story, was found to have coronavirus. And he was asked to self-quarantine. And he refused. Well, since he refused the command of the government, the sheriff's department and the mayor got together and they are going to force this man into quarantine now. In the name of public health safety. Now, this is one of the things that really bothers the shit out of me, is when that starts getting forced onto people. You know, forcing people against their will and basically imprisoning people in their own home or whatever. And the problem is this being forced onto people. Not necessarily just the quarantine, but, you know, whenever somewhat of a vaccine or whatever can come about, next thing you know, they're going to try to start forcing that on people. I mean, you know, I was like reading this other story, which is actually kind of an old story, but has been brought back to life because of this fucking crotchy virus or whatever it is Bill Gates stepped down from the board of directors so he can do more like however you say it, that is philanthropic, whatever you fuck, so he can help out with the crotchy virus. Well, his plan and his idea is to microchip everybody. I mean, everybody on the planet. And one of the deals they're going to offer is, you know, when there is some kind of a vaccine or whatever, is that they will offer free vaccinations if you get the chip. See, now this chip, this thing is going to have like your medical history on it, your criminal history, all that kind of stuff on that chip. And they will set up the system to the point where you cannot buy or sell anything unless you have that chip. You can't go on an airplane, can't go on public transportation. You probably have to force your kids to get a chip so they can attend public indoctrination schools. This is where the 5G comes into play, because that chip runs on a blockchain network. So they got to have 5G to operate. You know, and you know about the 5G, right? You know, and 5G, 6G, 7G. See, this is going to be the neural network of the AI. See, the thing is, man, the kind of argument that I got in with one of my friends at work, or one of the guys I work with, not necessarily a friend, but one of the guys I work with, is that we were talking about that story about that guy that was getting forced into quarantine. And honestly, he had no problem with that. He had no problem with that at all. Honestly, in his mind, he saw it like this. If I had the virus he would be the first one to put me on the ground in handcuffs and throw me in a box somewhere just to keep the public safe. You know? Oh, the public safety. Society comes first before the individual. This is where we differ. Because I honestly believe the individual and the individual liberties and freedoms are at a higher standard or a higher level than the public's or society's freedoms, liberties, or whatever. I mean, it reminds me, you know, of a democracy, of a dictatorship. It reminds me that the 51% thinks that they can tell the 49% what to do, what to believe, what to think, what to eat, what to sleep, and all that kind of stuff. So, in this guy's that I work with, his eyes and his mind. Now, I don't know if he's actually just saying that because he wants to be politically correct or he actually believes it. I have no idea. But in the way he was talking, I wish I had this recorded too. But the way he was saying is that, you know, it's all of our duty and responsibility to look out for everybody. Well, I'm sorry. I don't live in the fucking Borg collective. I don't live in a fucking ant farm where I'm part of a fucking hive mind or some shit. No, I'm an individual. I live on this land, this geographic location. That doesn't make, just because I live here doesn't mean that I have the moral obligation or the legal rights or whatever to society. I don't have any kind of allegiance to society. Now, the way I see it, if I was to given a choice to have an allegiance to society or have an allegiance to myself and my family, without a doubt, without hesitation, I will pick me and myself and my family over society every fucking time. Because look at what society is today. Look at what society is today. It is nothing but this fucking degenerate fucking, you know, pedophilia, fucking corrupt bullshit fucking society, you know, willing to fucking put goddamn fucking cross-dressers and fucking drag queens just sitting there reading storybooks and jiggling their ass in front of children. That's what society is today. I have no allegiance to society. I think society should burn and crash. I don't want to live in an area, in a country where the mob rules. Just because there is a lot of people that think your way, that makes it right. And if you and the rest of your pals out there think it's okay to take my life or imprison me because I don't comply with your rules, that's wrong. That's evil. That's tyranny. That's a tyrannical act. I'd rather live in a country of individuals. You know, I'd rather live in a country that were individuals that had independent thought, or had lived that thought logically, that had that had character. I don't want to live in a country or a world where all the people that live on this land are all bunched up into one big old meat pile, and you can't say, do, or think anything outside the meat pile. That's very dangerous. And that's the thing, man. When he told me that, it showed me right off the bat. You know, like for instance, if me and him were like soldiers on a battleground somewhere, I would not want him watching my back. Because if the majority said that you know, I'm expendable, you know, in his mind, I'm expendable because the majority said so. I wouldn't trust him with my life, put it that way. Because, you know, this bullshit with this fucking crotchy virus or some shit that we should allow government to forcefully, at gunpoint, do whatever it wants to force us to stay in our home, force us to do this and that, take a damn virus, blah, 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 all this other shit because of some fucking invisible boogeyman. People, you guys need to wake up and get out of this fucking matrix, because that's really what it is. You're inside the matrix. You know, if you find fault with what I'm talking about, you're still in the matrix. I mean, because quite honestly, it's not my responsibility or my moral obligation to look out for your safety, look out for your health. It's not. It's not your duty, your responsibility, or your moral obligation to look out for my safety or my health. It's all up to ourselves. It's up to me to look out for my health and my safety and, you know, my family's health and safety. That's my moral obligation and my responsibility. My responsibility and moral obligation do not lie with society. It does not lie with the public health and safety. Okay? And it's also not a legal obligation of police to protect us anyway. It's been ruled many times in the Supreme Court that it is not their legal obligation to protect us. Not one cop, not one police officer, not one sheriff, not nothing. It is not their responsibility. It is not their duty. It is not their moral obligation to protect us. Held up by Supreme Court law. So all this fucking, you know, protect and serve bullshit, it's all a lie, because technically they have no legal duty to do so. See, this is what I'm trying to get at too, man. And when they uttered those national emergency fucking words, all the rules and regulations and laws go out the window. The Constitution doesn't matter anymore because we're in a state of emergency. Well, according to them, anyway. I mean, honestly, there was a story about, I can't remember his name, it's a sheriff or whatever that was talking about, you know, when it comes down to these quarantines or curfews, whatever, and closing businesses. Because quite honestly, man, closing down businesses and putting people out of work and all that stuff, you know, that's really going to do more damage. It's probably going to kill more people than this fucking invisible boogeyman called the Karachi virus or whatever the fuck it is. And we cannot rely on government to save us. They're the ones that created this problem. They're the ones that are crashing the fucking market as we speak. They're the ones that are shutting businesses down. They're the ones that are telling you to close up your shop and tell everybody to go home and putting people out of work for however long they fucking deem necessary. And then on top of that, there's so many people that are on the same mindset as that dude at work. And you really, really cannot underestimate the power of stupid people in large quantities. And that's the thing. Now, that dude at work, if he had like 30 people backing him up, and they all thought that I had the virus, well, in his mind, man, he would be justified to fucking haul my ass off somewhere and lock me in a fucking room all by myself.
Power off.
Sorry about that. That speaker, it turns itself off like every 15 minutes or some shit. But anyway. This is the idea. This is the mentality. And this is another reason why a lot of these fucking lemmings out there that did not even think about fucking preparing and shit, they're all out there at the last minute. I mean, quite honestly, man, they're out there getting fucking cleaning supplies and toilet paper. You know, and cleaning off the shelves. What they gonna fucking do when they need food? You know, when they realize they ain't got enough food. And they all fucking go out into the damn stores in droves getting food, and they clear out the shelves then. What then? Honestly, I think that sheriff, you know, in some ways I kind of agree with what he was talking about. You know, because, I mean, honestly, this country was founded by rebels. It was founded by rebels. They were the people that stick up their middle finger to the fucking British monarchy and said, "Fuck you! I am sovereign. I will rule myself. You are not my master." And we need to bring that fucking that feeling back, because the government's not our master. They cannot impose this tyrannical and tyranny fucking bullshit on us in the and use the excuse of this fucking crotchy virus and keep everybody in fear. And that's another thing too. Everybody, you got all these fucking lemmings out there that are going to be so fearful. They're going to get desperate. They're going to get so desperate that they might come to your house looking for food that they didn't have saved up. And they're thinking, wait a minute, hey, my neighbor, I think he's got a bunch of stuff stored away. Let's go over there and take his shit. I'm going to tell you something, man. It's not my responsibility, and I will not feel sorry for being selfish for myself and my family over the society, over fucking the mass populace. I will not apologize for being selfish, because the society and the populace have done shit for me. Nothing for me. So I have no allegiance to society. I mean, quite honestly, I've been telling people for fucking years about this shit. You know? Hey, I tried to tell people. I tried to wake them up. I tried to fucking do this and that. You know? There's still a lot of them out there that still refuse to fucking see the light. Hey, I tried. I have no guilt. I tried. I did my job. Okay? I tried to warn everybody, but hey, some people don't want to fucking listen. And guess what? They're going to be waiting in line fucking 4 blocks long to get a goddamn loaf of bread. Or they're going to be like old fucking dude over there that's worked fucking 40 years doing this and that and got all this retirement fucking saved up, and it's going to be fucking gone overnight. And then what are you going to fucking do? You know, I guess you're just going to have to bend over and kiss your ass goodbye. But anyway, this video has gotten up to about a little over 19 minutes. And it usually takes me about 3 hours to download these fucking videos if they get that long. So, I don't know. I just wanted to do a little rant. And maybe people out there, I hope you guys are listening. I mean, excuse my foul language, or, you know, because I speak fluent French. You know, excuse that. But that's just the way I talk. Okay? I use colorful words to kind of get my point across. And if you got sensitive ears and you can't take it, tough shit. Fucking suck it up, Buttercup. This is the Wingnut Radio for Anarchy TV, and I'm back out.